Modern Dread is the brand new album from Denai. It is fantastic, and I'm very happy to have her join us. Denai, thank you so much for doing this.
No, thanks for having me. It's been really nice to actually do like interviews from home because it feels more personal.
Where are you right now, and how are you?
I live in Margate by the sea in it's like southeast England, and I am just moved out of London like about a year and a half ago. So that's where I've been quarantining, which has been really nice. And actually done a lot of content in this room for Modern Dread. So I shot the music video for Fake Sorry here. Um, so it's been fairly like really productive, but it's just interesting how I've had to kind of like be more creative and think about things in different ways and like I don't know, not I haven't been like deterred to like not make things, and it's encouraged me to just be I don't know, just think more outside of the box. So yeah, I've done a lot of stuff in this room basically, which is my bedroom. But it's painted all white, so it feels like a studio space almost.
You know, when the year started, everybody was excited about 2020. I think the hashtag was 2020 vision. We're going to get clarity this year, and people had a lot of hopes and dreams, and obviously things have definitely been challenged, let's say. What were your aspirations coming into the year?
I don't know. I think like really, I don't really know. I think with this record, I kind of maybe just wanted to tour. In reality, I kind of was like thinking about my live show and um thinking about the assets for the record. And at the start of the year, I hadn't like shot the album cover yet. So I was still kind of in creative mode. And luckily, just before lockdown, I think literally like maybe 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks before lockdown kind of happened, I shot the Cascades video, my album cover, and like a lot of other things for the record. So I think I was just like still working on those creative pieces for the record. But I think the one thing I definitely feel like I'm missing is the live show thing because when I was making this record, I like heavily could visualize or like see the live show in my head. And it's something that maybe it just means I have more time to work on it now, which is really cool. But yeah, I'm itching to play. Like I'm itching to go on stage and like perform these songs.
A lot of people have been listening to your music as their way of dealing with their feelings and notably their anxiety going through these past number of months or what have you. And the title, Modern Dread, is so apropos. I think the consensus is that this album release is so timely. But you've been working on this for some time. Like you came up with this a long time ago. So I'm curious, was there a motivating event or a series of events which led to this concept?
I think making To the Brink really informed the entire energy for the whole album. Like, To the Brink was the first song that I did with Alex, and it just like he really heightened those anxieties, that kind of dread, sonically, and it just felt like to me the aesthetic, the sound, everything was suddenly like different, and I felt like I knew what I wanted this album to become. And the songs just came like Turn Off the Radio and Cascades especially um came in a way that was very informed from just feeling very overwhelmed. Like I was having this like crazy whiplash where I'd go to like a social event and be like very like overwhelmed or do something with lots of people and then be left on my own and then see some crazy thing that is happening in the world, and then like having to like all these different things that we experience. I think is like quite intense. And I think because being alive now in this age and writing this album, it was almost impossible to not write something like this because it's happening. It's happening to all of us, and I think it is really present in a lot of music that's also coming out as well, from other artists. And I think you can see that even visually and music wise, there's this wave of music that is kind of like very visceral and like not necessarily clinging to like any specific genre, but um I mean, I had no idea I'd be releasing it in in the middle of a pandemic. Like, that was kind of like just, it feels insane, but I think that's kind of what I wanted Modern Dread to feel like. When I sequenced it, I wanted it to feel a little bit like Whiplash, and you know, you get like a hyper happy kind of moment, confident moment, and then there's like this darker world, and then it's like very overwhelming, and that's kind of what I wanted the album to feel like.
I think you got quite a number of fans after Hayley Williams posted about your album release. And she noted that had she not met you, she might not have been motivated to release her own solo material. And a lot of nice words about you. And so, how did that make you feel, seeing her comments?
I mean, it's kind of insane. Like, I kind of think about the timeline of this album alongside with how we met and when it happened, and it kind of felt really like it was meant to be, like I was meant to meet her in that exact moment. And I was thinking about this today, the day that I wrote the day that I wrote Too Close. This was before I kind of met Hayley, or we kind of knew each other. I went to see Paramore in London, so I wrote Too Close and then went to see Paramore play. And I think it was that same year, end of 2017, that she kind of, I think she discovered We Used to Bloom, and we kind of have been talking online for like a couple of years, and we just kind of were at the same place, same time in the States. And I've been such a massive Paramore fan as a teenager. It's really nice to have that kind of full circle experience, but also to meet someone in the industry that that you feel like a real connection to, because a lot of the times there's this, like, I don't know, it can feel like a facade or like this kind of thing, but she's a real friend and like massive support during this whole thing. And when we met, we just spoke for hours, and I played her some of the songs from the record, and we just hung, and it was just really like a nice, like, human thing, as opposed to feeling the pressure of like performing in a sense.
Well, I'm a big fan of your music. I can't wait to see you live at some point around here in the States. Congratulations on this album release, and thank you so much for your time.
No, thanks for having me, and yeah, it's been so lovely to chat.